Hello everybody, we are going to be doing a season recap for the BC Lions, but before we start, I wanted to say please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new to me, new to the CFL, whatever the case may be. I'd love to have you here along the way as I try to do this as a full-time career. Now, let's talk about the BC Lions. This is something that was an unexpected season for BC. In 2021, they started off the year relatively well and then just fell off a cliff as they slumped to a 5-9 record. What did they do in 2022? Well, they went 12-6 and were the second best team in the CFL. Of course, they were able to finish behind the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who went 15-3. And I think for them, this is what was really interesting. The expectations going into this season were pretty low overall. I think we knew that they had a lot of exciting pieces in Bryan Burnham, Lucky Whitehead, and that this was a club that had a guy in Nathan Rourke that was going to be possibly a project, and the Lions would be maybe better, but maybe they would have another down year, or maybe they would miss the playoffs. Instead, what did they do? They were just incredible. And early on, they seemed unstoppable for the most part. They ran through the Toronto Argonauts, team that won the Grey Cup, beat them 44-3. They ran through the Edmonton Elks, stuff like that. Early on, nothing could seem to go wrong, with their lone loss coming against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a team that made the Grey Cup for the third straight season. And for this club, you were very excited. Now, unfortunately for BC, their season did end in Winnipeg. They played the Blue Bombers, and they just got outplayed. At the end of the day, the Winnipeg team, final score I don't think replicates it very well, but Winnipeg was able to control basically every aspect of the game. And it was one of the few times that Nathan Rourke was, just not a guy that was putting up video game numbers. I would like to say, though, that for the Lions in this season recap, I just think that they really could be a team to watch out for the 2023 Grey Cup. But my biggest concern for the Lions going forward is the fact that Nathan Rourke very well could leave for the NFL. What will the Lions do if they are without Rourke? Let's say he ends up signing with an NFL team. That's going to be the talk of the town. You lose a young quarterback that put up MOP numbers before he got hurt. Well, it looks like for the Lions, they ended up making a smart acquisition with getting Vernon Adams Jr. from the Montreal Alouettes. But I will say this, for this team, you look at what they did this past season. With Rourke, this club was a juggernaut, well-oiled machine, efficient. They were able to get balls out quick. They were able to have a mobile quarterback that was able to push the ball downfield. They were able to really just get ahead of teams and then make their lives miserable as they got up to that early lead out west. And of course, they looked like every part of a team that was able to possibly win a Grey Cup. They played the Calgary Stampeders at home, a team that has a lot of Grey Cup experience, playoff experience, and they were able to win there and then kind of put together a rally towards the end against the Blue Bombers. But I will say that with Vernon Adams Jr., what we saw was a club that kind of struggled to gain some consistency. Yes, there were some injuries to worry about, but in general, you have the highs and lows with Vernon Adams Jr. that are fun, but when you have a guy like Rourke that, in my opinion, I think was the best quarterback in the league last year, you really would probably prefer to have that stability of Rourke and have that future if he's able to stick there long-term for the Lions, because without him, you're looking at BC possibly being a 9-9 type team, maybe worse, maybe a little better. It really depends on Vernon Adams Jr.'s health and then how he gels with the roster, because looking at this team for BC, it is clear after watching them in 2022, they have a chance with Rourke to be possibly the next CFL dynasty. Without him, like I said, probably a club that makes the playoffs or misses the playoffs, but if they make the playoffs, they're probably not going to beat those teams that are above them, especially out west, but we will see, especially what Rourke does, because that is the biggest concern going forward for the Lions. But what do you think is going to be the case for BC, considering the season they just had? Will they be able to build off that success? Will they be able to start something really special, get these crowds coming in here for these big playoff atmosphere type games? Or do you think, especially if Rourke leaves, that some of that buzz will leave the franchise for a little bit? Or will Vernon Adams Jr. be able to right the ship and be able to keep them on track to be that 12-6 team or better? Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the BC Lions from 2022. Everybody, please make sure to like and subscribe. Stay safe and have a great night.